Hello, YouTubers. It's Travis. I've got a good one for you today. I expect that you'll watch the draft and be like, okay, that was a pretty good draft, and watch round one and be like, okay, that was a pretty good game. I want you to watch round two. I want you to get all the way through this because I made a discovery, I think, about some decks in this format. And while the discovery is important, and I'll let you get to that, I think what's more important is how you should be thinking about these things as you're exploring a new format. So there's something here to take away for Kamigawa, and I think for a lot of formats in the future when you bump into a deck like the one that we bumped into. It was a fun draft. I had a good time playing it. I think you'll have a good time watching it. So enjoy today's draft. What have we here? Yeah, Chris, I think just have to follow the chat is good. Good morning, Justin. The set is pretty fun so far. Good morning, Enlighten. I'm going to try to link to you when I do the history of draft thing. I'm trying to decide what I want here. We could try this. The set is splash friendly. I get a 4/4 flying trample. That seems cool. We could also just take the Samurai, which is great, or Beseiju, which I got to play with some yesterday and was pretty happy with. I don't think it would be that hard to splash this. I just don't know what color pair would be our main and or if it's worth it. But I mean, 4/4 flying trample seems pretty good to me. I guess the downside is like, I know that these two cards are good. I don't know if I can make this one castable, but I can try it. And one day we will try the self-mill deck. I'll get there eventually. Okay, Acquisition Octopus is not bad. Naomi is not bad. I'm still not sold on the hover bike. Morning, Nick. Good morning, Renan. All the cool kids are getting here. Also really into Sunblade Samurai. Yeah, like if we get this, we can already play this in whatever we're doing, right? That's the big challenge. But that's assuming we're going to play this. I'd like to draft what's actually open. I think I am going to take the uncommon here. Because I could pretty easily get moved out of even wanting to play this at all if something's incredibly open. But like, I like that idea, Renan. If you've got the Plane Cycler, why not just play this? Seems good to me. I'm hoping we can get one later. Good morning, Alexis. What does this do? Exile target creature or planeswalker. I mean, that seems pretty good to me. Why would I not want to do that? I like the shrine, but I mean, not as much as there's a thing that's alive that I'd like to be dead, and now it is. Removal's bad in this format? Okay. I mean, I can just play the removal deck. I'm game with that. Well, it's not instant speed, right? So there's like some downside there. But yeah, let's start out with removal spells and see where we go. Ooh, I really had fun with the Anvil the other day, but if people don't want removal, I'll just literally play it all. I can win with whatever's left over. Because I imagine this is going to put us pretty solidly in... Well, we could still be white, blue. We could also consider trying to do like a Mardu thing. I think I'm going to consider that. Okay. Interesting. I'll take all you got. Spells cost 1 less for each target. This is targeted, so it should, right? It's spell targeted. But I don't know, maybe it doesn't. You're a thing of too many pacifisms? That's something I've never experienced, if it is. I suppose it's possible. I've just never seen it. I think at this point, I'm just going to double down on white removal and say we're going to play white. I don't know exactly what else, but don't need to. We got these cards. I don't think Wanderer's Intervention is wonderful, by the by, but it's okay. I suppose it should be Wanderer's Herpaderp, eh? So this is basically a functional reprint of Gideon's Intervention, and for whatever reason, no, it's not. See, there's the problem. I can never remember the name of the card. It was Gideon something, but I could never remember the name of it, so I just called it Gideon's Herpaderp all the time. Gideon's Reproach. Thank you. But that was the issue. I could never remember the reproach, which is why it became Gideon's Herpaderp. Gideon's Intervention was a totally different card, which I remember and played a few times. It was an interesting sideboard card. Ahem. So it's Wanderer's Herpaderp now. This is for chosen creature types. Okay, probably not using that. I don't quite know what I'm doing yet. So I'm going to take the card that gives me the most options if we decide we do want to do some splashy things. All right, well, I'm taking this for sure. This just seems great. We got a Sim Pog, but not a Sim Dab yet. This wants me to return a ninja. These don't seem great to me. None of this seems great. Meh. I guess I could get into red-white aggro and want that. These all seem kind of bad too. I'm pretty happy with Simpog. That's exactly what I want. Oh, the Scrounger I liked a lot. So we could start talking about black-white, perhaps. So quite a combo with the Intercessor's Arrest, right? Because we cast this on their creature, it's functionally removed, and then we attack for 1. That's the combo I was thinking of. All right, pack 2, we got Beseju, which I am not quite as high on as I might have been in the past. Probably just want to take a white card because we're still pretty open to our second color, which is very likely to be black or red, but it doesn't have to be. Probably puts me on Era of Enlightenment. It's a 2/2 first striker. It's okay. Not exciting, but I'll need to take some creatures at some point. Gloom Shrieker. I like that. Probably not as much as I like the Circuit Mender. I don't know why you wouldn't just grab that up. Presumably there was a good rare, and that's why our neighbor didn't grab it up, but like it's going in every deck. You can also bounce or blink it, which is interesting. It's not, I thought initially that it was when it dies. It's not. It's when it leaves the battlefield. Oh, come on in, buddy. Some of the stuff we're doing would want us to have an artifact and an enchantment too if we get like super deep down the black-white train. So just having a random artifact in the deck isn't bad. Flame Discharge I was pretty happy with. I don't think it's amazing, but I think I could play it. It's mostly a 2-mana 3/3. It's been fun so far, Super. I've been doing a draft every day, and I've been having a good time with it. I guess it's the best card here, and there's not a white card. I don't want any of the artifacts. Kind of between these two. Decoy. There's some stuff here. I kind of just want to take the other white 2-drop. Like the first strikers seem nice. Let's see where this takes me. It's like with the 3 arrests, like we're playing this. Graph Draft. Thank you very much for the raid. Y'all spam some cats for Graph. I hope your stream went well. Ace is all right if you're running some vehicles, which we're kind of not yet. We might be. We could potentially befriend some moths. This gets an aura, so it could be a 5-mana draw and arrest. Just like, hide, I guess. So I'm just going to take the moths. I suspect wherever we're going, I can use that. Okay, so here's kind of the black-white uncommon, and it wants you to have an artifact and an enchantment. I think we could probably do that. We'd get to play the Soul Transfer and the Scrounger. Pick up a couple more artifacts, do the thing. The other option would be to, I think it's a little early for Oath, but I think we could certainly play it. We could take the Modern Age, get to play the Acquisition Octopus, etc. But I think I'm willing to give this a go. Because I don't need much more for it to be pretty nice. And we can splash the Fireball if we decide we want it. Yeah, I've had this played against me, and it was pretty dang good. The challenge, of course, is going to be fitting artifacts in here, right? Because, like, I don't really want that. I kind of do want another 2-drop, but I don't want this one, right? I'll take it. If I have to play it, I'll play it. Mardu thing. I remember reading this and thinking, what would you even do with this? I guess play it with the other samurai. It's kind of a bad Mardu thing. Yeah, I was thinking about the Steward too, but I'm going to see 8 more of those, and I'm not convinced I want one. Take some gems. Maybe we decide we want that anyway. Okay, that's a 2-drop I could play. That's an artifact for Naomi that I'm not embarrassed to put in the deck. I can work with that. All right, there's still another pack left. I'll take this for splashing. Like, we've got a deck here. I don't think overall I like the decoy, but like it's a passable 2-drop for a deck that could use one. That works. There's plenty of stuff here we could play. Nothing I'm terribly excited about, but yeah, we compared Hot Spring to God, what was a Domri's card? Rhythm of the Wild? It seemed very similar to that to me. Which there were decks that wanted that. There were decks that wanted that quite a bit. Okay, this is the saga that I didn't like. -2/-2 to everything? That's interesting. That's very interesting. We've got an Exemplar for the attack. Like, this is a rough thing to main deck, but it's incredible. Like, it's very narrow, but if you need this thing done, it can do it really well. Hello, Timba. Good morning. I think I kind of want the Malfunction. This could be a really interesting splash, right? Not running a lot of warriors. Ah! I timed out trying to figure it out. But you know, maybe, just maybe, we were just going to splash this and our red-white tag. That actually worked out to my benefit because now I feel a lot more comfortable taking this flying dragon bomb and being like, maybe we splash that. It's like, oh no, now I have to play my fireball. And all these decent 2-drops. It's tough to be me. What's happening? We're winning. That's what's happening. Neat. It's fun to win. I like winning. Yeah, this looks like it would have flying, doesn't it? I would find it very tough to be you. It's awesome to be me. Like, who am I? What is going on? Ahoy, good morning, Adam. What's going on is people are bad at draft. They're passing the good cards and they should be taking them, but they're not. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll take them. Seems good, man. I've been incredibly happy with the Scrapyard Steelbreaker. Serendipitous Pivot. Would probably play. Okay, that's another Flame Tongue Goblin artifact. Sure, we'll play that too. I may not need Naomi, but it looks like it's going to be really easy to enable her. Right? Like I might have to play the Terrarium. We can decide if that's worth it or not when we get to the deck building section. There's a chance I want access to this. So I think I'd probably play the Samurai and the Rabbit Battery, but if I take this, I can basically guarantee a really easy splash for Naomi. So I'm going to do that. I think I'd like to start with this and then adjust out of it if need be. Don't think I'm terribly interested in this, although I've been really happy with it. Do I have more artifacts than I think? I have 7. We played this in a deck with 12 and it was really good. This deck does not have 12. Which I think puts me on the synthesizer for a little bit of card draw. Take that for the size board, I guess. It's a decent 3. I can work with that. Not where I thought we were going. But pretty happy with where we ended up. We could splash Jeskai for the rare, but I feel like this might be better. What do you think? Because I can get a 4/4 flying trample, which does seem really good. Or I can get a 4/4 that comes with 2/2s and makes more 2/2s. It might be. We can swap out which one we want to. I just feel like we've got so many artifacts and enchantments that it's pretty neat, but flying tramplers do kind of win games, eh? Let's figure out which one we want to do when we get to the deck build, because we've got a little bit of space and time here. Space time. I think if we're doing a splash, I might need to run the Terrarium. We could play it, but I mean, you're calling it a commander card because it's a commander card. This doesn't do anything, right? Like, what does this work with? I guess this? Maybe her? I'm trying to see if we have any other triggers that I'm interested in when we attack. Because they do only happen on attacks, right? Yeah, it would just be these two that it works with. But I don't think I want to splash for that. I think there's a pretty compelling argument that this is just better than Naomi. It's a shame I can't get both of them in. We can also just not splash anything and decide into what we want. Like, the deck's not that short playables. Got 10, 11, 12, 13 creatures. And an Eater of Virtue. You can, but you shouldn't. I can, but I shouldn't what? I don't think I want to play a Simian Sling. Splash both? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Main thing I want to do is make sure we've got enough creatures to carry that equipment. Which we currently really don't. I think I'd like another 2. I think I'm going to splash that. And I think I could use a terrarium for it. And we can adjust this how we would like it to go after we play a few rounds with it. You ever pull Spasm a bag muscle just by existing? Absolutely. What's up, Chemo? I threw out my back by sitting in a chair. It's awesome to get old, dude. So if I'm doing this, I need 2 blue sources in this deck. No, I need 1 because then I'd have 1, 2, 3. Okay. We just need 1 island. That makes the splash really, really easy. And then we're mostly red. And we want our red earlier than our white. So this seems like it would work. Yeah, Sunblade could conceivably be an extra planes. I think I can work with this. Cool. Let's go party. E-Rob, thank you for the dono, man. Much appreciated. Y'all spam some cats for E-Rob. Thank you very much. Heck yeah. Thank you, my friend. I shall do so. I can find another land with the synthesizer, hopefully. Fasty Dave, buying a Semulin flag bearer. Thank you, Fasty. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I want to just snipe that, because I kind of do. I think I'm going to. I don't know what they're trying to do with it, but I'd really rather them not get to do it. Y'all spam some cats for Fasty. Thank you, my friend. See if this hits another land. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'll see if I can deal with that next turn. Or just race it. It's a possibility too. If I pacify this and they reconfigure it, does the pacify stay? Oh wow, they're just killing me. Okay. I'm gonna need all that removal we drafted. And I'm gonna need it quickly. Enchant permanent. It stays. Okay, that's really good news. Well. Yeah, they can't equip it because it turns off all the abilities. Okay. Hiya. It wouldn't be bad, but there would be a lot of bad interactions. That thing's pretty good. All right. I don't think we can attack with them having a fireball to face in play. This thing's pretty good. I would like another pacifism, please. I have not been following Hasbro stock, no. Should I be? Dude, I'm in danger. I'm in serious danger because I have to chump block this now. I'm not even really aware of what that would mean, E-Rob. I don't even get to draw my card. Okay, so they're very aggressive. I definitely want explosive entry. They've got a lot of artifacts I'd like to blow up. They've also probably got more value than I can deal with. I think I want to switch this out and splash the Naomi against them. I think we're going to need the blockers, and I think it's not crazy to think I can have an enchantment and an artifact in play. Could also just cut the splash entirely. Let's trim that. Friendly Wizards is a subsidiary, so it's an independent division. They ultimately report to Hasbro. If this happens, Wizards will become its own company for the first time in decades. I mean, I don't really have any opinion about that, but you guys are welcome to speculate and chit chat about it. Very okay if you guys are into that. Rich people want more money. I can believe that too. Okay. It's a bit more of an aggressive start than I expected, but I'll take it. Trying to decide if I want to Wanderer's Intervention this, and I think I might. And just try to keep them on the back foot for a minute. Hey, what's up, Alter Sleeves? How y'all doing? All right, let's see if we can beat him down. Go on then, have your cards. Heck yeah. Yeah, exclamation point sponsors. Alter Sleeves has got some cool stuff. We talk about them nearly every day. The best Alter Sleeve is obviously this one. It has me in a Hawaiian shirt as Nicol Bolas holding Dutch. Like, obviously, that's the one you should get first. Meanwhile, my opponent played a 3-6, and this game changed a little bit. Not necessarily a lot of it. A little bit. What have we got coming up? Naomi. I like Naomi. We're going to draw her. We do have an artifact and an enchantment. They've got the anvils. Righto. No worries, Alter. I was just saying you guys do good work. Got us a bit of a board stall here. Seen a lot of people going for 3 colors. I guess with the terrarium and the land, you could probably do that. Alter Sleeves, dude. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. I've been got with a card I thought was bad. That's a shame. Y'all spam some cats for altar sleeves. Thank you, my friend. We're in danger. Right, if I wanted to attack with her, I could make her a 5/5, and I would trade her for this token. I didn't think Invoke Despair was particularly good. Still don't. It was good there. Kind of like a hard to cast Edict, but like every card will get you at some point. I don't have attacks, and they can grind me to death with this Anvil, so I feel like this game is kind of functionally over. And interestingly, I wish I had the flyer instead of Naomi. Thank you. That's me. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. An enchantment, and then you draw a card. Like, there's some value on it. I guess I was comparing it to other rares. Yeah, maybe it's not that bad. I mean, again, I got ranch to it, so I can't really give it too much grief. But we're kind of a removal spell away from getting back in the game. The challenge is, like, they're sitting and drawing cards. So first things first, we have to turn off their card advantage. Yeah, looking at it after it's resolved, this card is fine to play. My issue with it isn't that it's not fine to play, it's where do you take it? So I guess that's where I'm saying I don't like it very much. I'm comparing it in my mind to other rares. It's a bit awkward, isn't it? I'm going to need to draw a pacifism to get out of this anyway. Let's draw the pacifism. There's enchantments everywhere. Far more in the set than in a typical set. They're going to start attacking me with the Kami of Industry in a minute. So it's functionally going to be 4, 5, 6 power. So I'm going to need to double block it and trade off most of my board for it. That sucks. Okay, so if we need to deal 7 damage, I can already do that here. I may as well put the extra counter here. It's pretty fun pace. Or piece, rather. I'm not quite sure why they're not attacking, but I'll take it. I'm playing out the lands for the most part in case we draw the Samurai Egg. Which we kind of need something to get back in this game. That 4/7 is just a house at blocking us. I'm interested in killing that. Like a pacifism, and we're back in this game. There's 3 of them in the deck. Let's draw one. Yeah, initially wasn't sure what you wanted to do with it, but after looking at the stat line, it's just really good. Like, it blocks everything. That's what you do with it. You block everything in the game. More lands is good. You can't cast your spells without lands. That's what I wanted to draw. Just casually drawing their deck. Well, you can also kill it, Enlighten. And remember, we drafted the removal heavy deck so we could kill everything our opponent plays. But of our 4 solid removal spells, they're in the bottom 18 of the deck. So but at a certain point, there won't be anything we can draw besides the arrests or the fireball. We've also got a specific artifact destruction card for that. But I think there's 5 live draws out of 18 cards. But I think this is just a case of us flooding out. They're flooding out a bit too, to be fair, but they've got a lot of card draw, right? Like, they've got about the same amount of lands as us, but they've drawn 8 more cards. Can't you pump that? I assumed they were going to, but they didn't. I'm really confused. Neat. That's not actually what I need. This looks handy. No Gideon's Herpaderp. Looks like they're going to try to burn me out with that reactor, which they can potentially do. But we're going to swing next turn bigly and see what we can do. To say, if they have another artifact, we could be in trouble. They have another artifact. They have several more artifacts. We're very close to dead. But again, you should be when your opponent draws an extra opening hand. Why are they not killing me? I am somewhat confused. Welcome to Interesting Sequencing Theater. But I think I have to kill him this turn or I'm dead, right? Well, maybe not. If I swing team, they can block a lot of stuff. I'm just like, this thing's going to go off and deal 5 damage to my face. Presumably, they're going to kill something with it this turn. And like, giving something trample should be enough to finish me off. All right, so if we swing team, I think we're dead. So I don't want to do that. There's no reason not to attack with the vigilance creatures. And I don't mind trading off Naomi here. I think I need the toughness on these two to block a trampler. So here we go. These are interesting blocks. Still think we're dead. But I think we were pretty close to dead last turn. I could have done that a while ago and turned off my samurai factory, but didn't. I'm glad they didn't. Oh, no, not really. This guy's an enchantment too. God, enchantments are everywhere. I did see that a long time ago. I remember at the time thinking it was a funny movie. It's an old movie, though. I feel like that Dragon Spark reactor has to just be able to kill me. Maybe that's what they're doing, is they wanted to kill me entirely with the reactor. Like, I don't actually want to deal damage to my opponent. I want to activate this reactor and kill them with it. Fair enough. Makes sense. I think we figured out what they're doing. And is that they definitely want to just kill me with this, which they're going to be able to do. Yeah. I can appreciate wanting to do that. Like, you do what you got to do. Boop. I don't think our deck is bad. I think we flooded out there, and that kind of sucked. And they got card draw going, and I couldn't interact with it. It's a lot of card draw. I like being on the other side of the anvil far more than this side. All right, we still got a chance to get a 2-0, 2-1, so let's see about that. But I would agree, except for the losing, that was quite fun. There's probably some balance of, like, play this many lands if you're running a terrarium sort of thing that I haven't quite got down yet. But overall, this set has been quite fun. All right, let's get enlightened, yo. Yeah, it's weird, right? I don't mind either of these, and that auto looks pretty fine to me too. Well, we know what's going to get arrested. Does this actually stop all of the crap that this does? Let's see. Can't attack, block, or crew vehicles. Activated abilities can't be activated. Okay. This is an activated ability. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't control a Kermit, create a Kermit. So this doesn't stop this. It's going to make Kermit. There's nothing I can do about the frogs. If that's the case, I'd rather try to find a way to get rid of it otherwise. Or I could just accept that they have a Kermit. I do not want to accept that they have a Kermit. Perhaps we will try to beat them in the face. Arresting the frog is almost better. But the frog has a triggered ability. It's a matter of which 3/3 do you want to arrest. That one is the answer. Don't need either of those, really. Pew, pew. You get an aura. They like having auras on their dudes. I'm just helping them out. They want to trade it for the 2/1 now. At least they don't get their card. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing all this investing for me personally. What you doing? I'm willing to believe you have something. There's a thing that gives 2 creatures +2/+2, so I'm going to play around that. When We Were Young, I think, is the card. If it's just one combat trick, whatever, we trade card for card. Because I can still decide to block with a Moth next turn, and I'll have 4 power of First Strike to block. So, like, we're right. But again, a little flooded, which I think this deck may just have too many lands. It's kind of something to evaluate as you're running through. Like, I get it. The Terrarium means you don't want to cut one, but like, we have 1 5-drop and it cycles for a land. I think I'm just playing too many lands. I'm also just dying to this frog anyway. That'll help. This thing has also wrecked me. I need to pay attention and make sure I never pass this because it's absurd. Good morning, Dom. Pew pew. I'm not sure what the right number is, but 17 feels like too many. Uh-oh. I think they saw the sign. They can count, we're in trouble. Yeah, I've just been getting consistently flooded and realizing that the deck tops out at 4 CMC. That's probably the issue. It's like I'm just playing way too many lands and I don't really have much to do with extra mana. So I either need to draft things to do with extra mana or play less lands. That makes me interested in something that could be a mana sink. And I think the explosive injury would just be good against them. And I'm going to trim 2 lands and try 15. This is incredibly risky, but like I'm trying to get a data point for the format here. I don't think we're going to win this draft. It is what it is. But if we can learn a little bit, that's good. Good morning, Rage. What's your favorite color? Trying to think of something to say beside what's up. And I can remember for a while when I answered the phone, I would answer the phone. Thank you for calling. Name of company I worked for. What's your favorite color? And anybody that was calling in to complain would immediately soften and go, green. Or whatever. Morning, Cannon. All right, let's see if I'm onto something. I mean, looks better than what we've had before. I have you meow. Is it Froge? It is a Froge. Let's find us a land with this. I don't even want the terrarium now. Hiya! I'm gonna make sure that didn't have haste, because if it did, I would be really embarrassed. Could be. I guess it's made out of trees. Not today, Satan. Less lands, more better. It's not usually something I'm comfortable with. Weird format, but I guess running 17 lands in a deck that doesn't have any 5 drops is kind of like, what are you doing, dude? So for anybody thinking you're running too many lands, you might have been onto something. I think I like formats that lend themselves to 18 lands more than formats that lend themselves to 16 or 15. But that may not be a format thing. That may be a this deck thing. But it's also kind of naturally my desire to limit variance rather than lean into it. Unless I'm in a tournament, in which case I'll lean into it. I mean, that makes it a lot like Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt, Adventures in Forgotten Realms, Kaldheim, Zendikar Rising. Maybe I haven't played enough to see it. Doesn't feel that variance to me. I mean, it doesn't feel much different than the other formats. Like I can remember even in Zendikar Rising, which I know you liked a lot, John, but sometimes your opponent would just have a turn 2 bug catcher and you were dead. Like, well, I guess I die. That's pretty good. Can we get one of them pacifisms? Thank you. All of the heroes in Storybook Brawl are pretty consistently good. Well, I won't say pretty consistently good. I'll say all of the heroes in Storybook Brawl are playable. But if you'd like, you could Google a tier list from a content creator that you respect and see what their opinions are on the best one. I like Trinet. I think he has generally good opinions. I don't think I mind blocking the Iron Apprentice with the counter on it with this. Because the counter is going to go to something that can't attack anyway. We'll win in the air eventually. Hey Andy, what's up, my dude? Thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Andy. Thank you, my friend. How's the puppy? How's the kids? Okay, there's the card that kills me. Except this time, we're ready for it. Okay, they don't have their +2/+2 trick in hand. That's good to know. Puppy is big and going through adolescent phase. Heck yeah. How is Sim Baby? Sim Wife is doing well. Had some magical moments, dude, where like I can put my hand on her belly and feel the baby moving. It's absolutely incredible. I am consistently amazed. I've been hankering to play Rust of all things. You want to play Rust one night? I just want to play Rust. I mean, buy the game and play it. Boop. Hiya! Removal's bad. So Rust has some similarities to Tarkov in that, like, when you die, people gonna loot your stuff and take all your things sort of deal. But it's also got this, like, gathering and crafting side. I don't know. It's a fun. I think it's a really fun game, but I haven't played it in ages. Yeah. That should kill him next turn. Maybe one night I could log in and be like, cool. I'll go shoot some stuff with you. Nice to win that. Very nice to win that. I think I'm onto something, and that this deck just doesn't want 17 lands. I actually want to change it before we go into the next round. Like, it's not very often I'll play a 15 land deck, but I think this is a 15 land deck. I think it was a mistake to put more in it. So what did we bring in? We brought in the Moonrider Patrol as a way to have a mana sink. And we brought in Explosive Entry. I don't even think it's crazy to main deck that. Yeah, I think we've got a better shot at getting a 2-1 if I just start with this. Because otherwise it's just been flooding out the whole time. It's kind of crazy. Round 3, fight. I'm game. I have come to eat your virtue. Nom 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 nom. No! That was my whole plan. I can't eat your virtue without a moth. What? I'll just play 15 lands. It'll be fine. I mean, Mine Rot's always been pretty good. I've played some this wipe, Andy, and enjoyed it. Let's get enlightened. Don't need lands. That's not very enlightening. Boop. I wonder where they're playing 500 colors for. It's always the Kami War. Fair enough. Kind of sucks, but it's got to go. These are some cards. Quite sure why that one went in, but it did. YouTubers? Yep, that means they're a potato person. Can confirm. I could, in theory, take another 7. That doesn't seem like a wonderful idea. I have a feeling we're incredibly dead here. The discard spells hurt a lot. Not to mention the bomb. Like, not surprisingly, the bombs have been pretty good. I thought this would have flying. I was wrong. When a creature dies, exile it. But this can't block. I had no idea that's how that worked. No, it's not bugged. It exiled the creature. But it exiled it's a saga, right? Because this doesn't have flying. Befriending the Moths doesn't have flying. It's an aura. Or not an aura, it's a saga, right? Which is really interesting. Well, it exiled a saga befriending the Moss. It said if the exiled creature has flying, there's no creature exiled. Had I known that, we could have played a little bit differently, but you can't equip a creature either. Sure, it transformed into the creature. That doesn't change what the card is. The card is not called Imperial Moth. It is befriending the Moths. It's very unintuitive. There's going to be a lot of paper games that screw that up. I think we can beat this deck. They've got a clunky mana base. But I'm learning all sorts of new things today. Seems like we're supposed to be racing. don't quite just have the win, but I'm close to it. Not enough damage. I don't think. Or I might have mathed wrong. That's entirely possible. I think they didn't die. But somebody can double check me on that potentially. I may have mathed wrong too, Timber. If you want to go back and check it, it's entirely possible that I did. But I thought I could clear both blockers and not get them low enough. Okay. I didn't think about it. It still felt a little scary to go for, but maybe I was supposed to there. It's entirely possible I mathed wrong. Let's run it back. Well, playing safe may have been correct if I thought it through, right? If I'm like, hey, we want to play around Wanderer's Herpaderp. Not wonderful, but keepable. We'll go back and look in a minute. We can do that. We have the technology. So I can arrest vehicles, which is pretty cool. Kabutta. Get in the suit to get in the other suit. Get in all the suits. Hey, huh. I didn't think we quite had enough damage. But then they died. I like it. So I think we learned something valuable here. This deck felt pretty bad until I trimmed out 2 lands. And the cards that I pulled out for the lands helped. So I'm not saying every deck in this format is supposed to be a 15 lander. But I'm saying in Magic in general, look at your curve. If you don't have anything that costs more than 4, you might want to consider 15 lands. And a big thank you to my patrons, Paul, Punk, Hero, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Basti, Rich, Brandon, John, and Jazzy. Thank you very much.